Hello and welcome to the Italian Grand Prix, as you can see on your screen. Yeah, sorry there was no Monza video. Unfortunately, my Elgato just didn't want to record the race, which is unfortunate, but yeah, I came third that race. It's a bit boring anyway. We won't talk about who won the race either, because the less said about that, the better. But yeah, here we are at Singapore. For whatever round this is, who knows, getting towards the end of the season now. And yeah, this is probably one of the most unique circuits on the calendar on this year's game, because the tyre temperatures around here are just something else. I'm sure you've heard enough about this from everyone else, but yeah, basically it's very hard to manage your tyre temperatures, and once they overheat you're pretty much screwed on here. You're just sliding everywhere and you're just losing so much time. Also a wheel track as well. The wheel's notorious for keeping its tyres better. I tried the wheel, I practiced a bit with the wheel, but I just wasn't as quick as I needed to be. So yeah, I'm doing it on the pad. Oh yeah, I will admit I practiced a lot for this race. Not practicing to win though, I just thought Catherine was going to absolutely dominate this race because it's a wheel track and she did so well at Hungary, so I was like, right, I'm going to have to practice loads just to make sure I at least come second here, because I just thought it was going to be damage limitation. But yeah, I'd done a lot of practice. Oh yeah, it wasn't hard enough. We also have the issue of you want to start on the ultra soft tyres to do the one stop. Well, you have to, because the hypers literally last 3 laps. So yeah, you want to start on the ultras, so that's an additional thing to worry about. But yeah, we felt a bit unsure. I'd worked a lot on my first stint, and the first stint was probably the worst for tyre temperatures, and I'd practiced that a lot. I'd found a nice way to keep my tyres really well under control, although I did feel like I was a bit slow, and I feel like practicing that so much kind of made me lose my edge for qualifying. I could have been more aggressive, but I'd rather that. Also, obviously Singapore, so it's a very tough track to not corner cut at, which in all my practice sessions that I did, I always corner cut on my ultra lap, so that's something that was playing on my mind. As we come on to start our lap, I meant to set this as a safe lap on the ultras, but it actually turned out to be my fastest lap. So yeah, coming down to turn 1, taking it in 4th, bouncing over that curve. I had some mixed results with that curve sometimes it would just completely send the car off. It seemed alright this time. So going down into whatever turn number this is, and nobody got time to remember which number. I actually took that corner really well. It's kind of difficult to get the perfect line on the pad because you have to commit to the corner, whereas in the wheel you can increase your steering input. You can see you taking that corner really well actually. I was very happy with that. Could have maybe broken a bit later here, but getting around the corner was quite relatively good speed. Just clipping that curb for that corner, which is really nice one, probably the best one I've actually taken in the entirety of all my practices. Could have maybe taken a bit more curb on that corner, but it's okay. Carrying some decent speed for that corner. This is a very tricky sequence of corners, and then the hairpin, which I was never sure whether to take in first or second. Opting for first this time, getting some decent drive. Maybe could have got better if I kept it in second. Purple in the middle sector here, but missing that apex a little bit, which could cost me a bit more time, but straightening up the car nicely. Coming down to the chicane here, could have maybe taken a bit more of that inside curve to open up my run through the second part of the chicane. Could have saved me time there, but coming through the tunnel now, took a nice line through there actually. Could have maybe taken a slightly less curve. This chicane gave me grief all weekend, but navigated that quite well. I'm coming around the final corner now. What is it going to be? It's going to be provisional pole of a 35.8, I think. So that's quite good. I mean, I could have set a mid 35, but yeah, you can see at the end of the session that's put me in third, which is ahead of Catherine. So I'll take that, all things considered. So on the grid now in P3, starting ahead of our championship rival, which already I'm quite impressed at that. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird feeling now, because I'm not sure how to approach this race, because I was so convinced Catherine would get pole and go on to win the race. But now that I'm ahead of her, obviously I don't want to I don't want to throw my race away at the start. But it would also be nice to, you know, gain a bit of a buffer of cars, because I know Cinnamon Rages. He's a nice guy, but so I don't think he would hold up too much of a fight against Catherine. So there's a good chance she's going to gain the position off the line, putting her right behind me. So it'd be nice to have a car as a buffer. But I also know that I'm not very quick in the first stint because of the way that I've been driving to protect my tyre temperatures. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if I can get the coordinator. I don't really know what to call him. Germo, I think that's what maybe call him. I don't know. If I can get him off the line, that would be good. So yeah, just a bit anxious for the start of this race to see how all things go with the tyre temperatures and the fact that I'm on the pad. So, you know, gotta be avoiding damage as well. I'm sure there's not going to be an additional thing to worry about. So here we are now, waiting for the light sequence to come on. And here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. You can see we've actually got a pretty decent start versus the Ferrari up ahead. Glazegate are already going defensive, even though the coordinator's nowhere near him. We're going to try and hang it around the outside of the Ferrari. He didn't leave me any space there, but I forced the issue, and I've managed to actually hold it around the outside now. Given a bit of a squeeze, he's going to try and hold it around the outside, but I'm just going to park the car on the apex so he can't get any sort of cutback, and he's going to have to slot in behind me. So we managed to actually get up into P2 off the start, which is very good, and just as predicted, I think Catherine is now in 4th, so it was good to get that position of German. So yeah, Glazegater seemed to have a lot of pace. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to catch him, considering, like I said before, my first stint pace is quite slow and steady, just to make sure I'm really controlling the tyre temps. But as a result of this, you can see pace hasn't been that excellent in this first stint, and the coordinator Germa has managed to actually stay with me quite well, and he's going to have a really nice run now. You can see he's right behind me, clearly running lower wings than me, because he's got past me way before we even think about breaking into this corner. So I kind of let him through because I knew that I didn't want to like burn up my tyres defending, so I don't fight the issue too much. But then we've also got Catherine behind, who I don't want to let pass, so a bit awkward because I don't want to ruin my tyres. And yeah, remember how I said there wouldn't be an additional thing to worry about? Well, it turns out there was, because I had some even more recording issues this time. Only this time I did not leave enough memory on my laptop to record the race, so the recording cut out halfway through the race. Thankfully Catherine very kindly sent me her footage, so come watch the rest of the race through her point of view. Go check out her channel and her video that she's also uploaded. But yeah, thanks for the footage, Catherine. You can see she's right behind me on lap 8, so we've taken the tyres, the Ultras, a long way. It was 8 is probably the earliest lap where it's comfortable to take softs in. You can see she's looking down the inside, but we're just going to easily hold it around the outside and carry more speed through that corner, so nothing to stress about too much. But at this point, coming to the end of lap 9 now actually, so we're coming in to make our pit stops. Catherine still right behind me. See, I've probably gained a bit of time coming to the pits there, which is good. But yeah, I noticed at this point that Malgata wasn't recording because I'd run out of memory, so probably shouldn't have prioritised this, all things considered, but after the fact that I hadn't recorded Monza, I really wanted to make sure I recorded this race, so I was also trying to fix the problem while things happened in this race. So you can see we've actually probably gained quite a bit of time on her in the pits. You can see there's quite a bit of a gap now as I come out of the pits. Catherine is actually now going to get jumped by Bayfield. Well, not jumped, Bayfield's yet to pit, but now have a car buffer, and I saw this, so instead of, you know, making the most of my fresh tyres and trying to get an undercut on Germa actually, who carried on, I tried to fix the issues with my Elgato. Unfortunately, it was annoying because I tried a bunch of things, as we can see Catherine go down the inside of Bayfield. I tried to plug in my external storage and hope that it would recognise that as more memory, but it didn't. So then I tried deleting stuff, but then it still wouldn't record. I think I realised at the end of the race I had to quit out the app and then reopen it again for that to work, which is annoying. But yeah, I think at this point I kind of given up on the fact trying to record, and you can see we're right behind Donuts, who is still yet to pit, and he held me up a lot. You can't really see it from this point in footage, but I'd been stuck behind him for like a good lap here. I think I was running a lot higher wings than everyone else this race because down the straights I just was not as competitive as those people, but you can see we're getting the move done on Donuts into turn 1 here. So that's kind of sent Donuts wide, and that's kind of brought Catherine taking a nice line through turn 1 back into touching distance of us now. As you can see, we're only like a few meters up the road, and she's going to get DRS on Donuts here. So surely she's going to get a move done on him, which is very annoying for me because I spent a lot of time stuck behind him, and she's just going to seemingly breeze past him down the inside. It's going to be a nice move. You can see Donut trying to go for some kind of switchback, even though he's not fighting this for position, and you can see Donuts has actually hit Catherine there, which is very stupid. I don't understand what the point of that was. Clearly not even fighting for position, but that's gained me a lot of time. As you can see now, currently onto lap 17, Catherine's managed to close that gap back down, showing that clearly she has more pace than me. So yeah, it's getting a bit sweaty for me here. The nerves are creeping in. You can see she kind of did this whole race where she kind of have a look down the inside, and it kind of put me off a bit. But I knew she was never close enough to fully make a move, but she was close enough for me to like have to leave a space just in case she did like send it down the inside a bit more, which is kind of off-putting, which is I guess is the reason why she was doing it. But yeah, you can see now putting into lap 21, the coordinator actually is just up ahead of me. Both between the two of us, we've actually been catching him quite quickly, so you know P2 could be on the cards here. Speaking of penalties, actually, I believe at this point me and Catherine have the same amount of penalties. I had Joe tell me the penalty situation, and he also told me the coordinator didn't have any penalties. So this is something to think about, because lap 24, the coordinator was going very slowly. You can see I've gone for a cutback through the hairpin, and maybe I've got a nice run on him actually. Looking down the inside, we're going to try it. We tried it, but we didn't really commit to it. I was worried about having a stupid crash here, especially considering the fact that if I do get past the coordinator, I have to build up a 6-second gap, which I probably could do considering how slow he's going, but it was just a bit of an awkward situation. It's a very tough track to overtake, and I was running higher wings than most, I think. So I was kind of just stuck behind him. It was very frustrating. You can see Catherine actually, I think this is Catherine picking up her 6 seconds worth of penalties, so we're both on 6 seconds at this point now. But yeah, you can see I'm sticking with him very well. Like, I'm sticking to Germa way better than Catherine's sticking to me, but I just don't have that straight line speed that I need to get the move done, which is kind of infuriating. But then on the flip side, I also had the bonus of getting DRS off Germa, which is kind of helping me with the fight against Catherine. But you can see I'm in, like, lap 29 now, so this is like 12 laps, maybe later. Catherine actually picking up another penalty, which is going to give her 9 seconds, which is such a relief for me because I'm still on 6, so regardless of what happens at this point, she's not going to build a 3-second gap to me, so I'm at least going to score points over her. But yeah, it's not looking like I can get past Germa, and at this point, do I even want to? With only 2 laps to go, I don't think I could build a 6-second gap at this point, which is very frustrating. I've just stuck behind him for so many consecutive laps. But in my head I was like, you know what, I'm still ahead of Catherine, so I'm just gonna, I'll take the P3 at this point. I mean, getting a podium alone at Singapore on the pad would be amazing, but to beat my championship rival would be even more special. You can see Catherine not really getting much opportunity there. We're on to the last lap of the race now. You can see Catherine actually getting a really nice run through that corner. She's actually quite close to me in the slipstream now. Kind of ducks out of it a bit, which kind of is going to ruin her run on me, and you can see I'm going to keep that position, and she's actually just going to lose time from the line she takes into the corner. And yeah, so here we are at the end of the race. Still stuck behind Germo for many laps. It was very infuriating, I must admit. We're going to come across the line and outscore Catherine at Singapore on the pad. What a crazy result. I was actually so happy with this race. I mean, it would have been nice to have the coordinator because it's kind of painful how much he was holding me up, but the fact that to be, you know, a good wheel user around Singapore on the pad, you know, this is her boyfriend Sonic's favourite track, so You know, that was just, she had like esports setup, she was telling me, so I was very nervous, but yeah, I can't believe I managed to end up score points over here. So looking at the classifications now, so P3, we're in Singapore on the pad, and the fact that I was trying to deal with the Elgato as well, I was very happy with that. I was not expecting that. You can see Jack down in 9th, I'm not really sure what happened with his race, but that's going to cost us some points in the constructors because Glazegater won the race. So Mercedes resurgence for sure. But honestly, I'm just glad to have gained even more points than the drivers, which I honestly 100% thought this was going to be damage limitation. And if we look at the drivers' championship now, we can see I've got a 56 point lead, so we've only 6 races left. It's not looking too shabby. And still not like that confident. I just know that on a day, Catherine has just got insane pace, but it's starting to look a bit better. You know, can afford. At this point, I could come second every race and still win. Although I've not got second last race, but that's assuming Catherine wins. So yeah, hopefully the next few races go well. We can also see, however, that Glazegater has moved up into 3rd of the championship, which means, which is unfortunate for Jack. And looking at the constructors, we can see the gap has indeed come down in the constructors, which is unfortunate, but it's still a healthy gap, so maybe we can also still win that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Apologise about not having a Monza video and the footage for this video being messed up. I need to get on top of this stuff, but hopefully for Russia it will just be a normal video. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side, my homies.